Hi, I'm Mark Dubriel from Farm Design, and we're here today at MD&M to introduce and show the Rio knee surgery system here made by MAKO. So this project started a number of years ago when MAKO selected Farm to help them work on the design for this new product. Our involvement started with understanding users who were doing this in a manual mode and working to help to develop the procedure and the instrument for commercialization. We began by looking at surgeons and how they performed this operation without the device and understanding the challenges, and then working with the design team at MAKO to develop a device that would meet their needs. And that meant understanding how doctors and surgeons would interact with the device, what other people were in the room and how they would interact with the procedure, and the location and positioning of the instrument itself. So our initial work was in understanding positioning. Here we worked with surgeons to define where the device should be positioned relative to the patient and the patient's leg. We worked in understanding how they would interact with the device and how they could be assisting the device or working with the device. In understanding the ergonomics and the human factors, we were able to achieve some inputs to MAKO relative to the number of degrees of freedom in the device that were required in order to get the appropriate cut. We also worked with MAKO in understanding what information would be displayed in the graphical user interface, when that information would be displayed, how it would be displayed, developed menu and navigation, and all of the industrial design and graphical user interface related to the GUI. And then last but not least, we created an industrial design language, and a design that would be reflective of the MAKO value proposition and branding for a new company, startup company, supporting their initial public offering and their commercialization of this device, which is going to be awarded tomorrow in the design awards ceremony here at the show.
Okay, I'm Paul Abrams from MAKO Surgical Corp out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So basically how the robot works is after the doctor determines the patient has medial compartment, patellofemoral, or lateral compartmental disease, osteoarthritis stage 2 or 3, they'll order a CT scan of the patient's knee. Once that CT scan is made, we get the DICOM images, put them on a disc, load them into a laptop computer, make a 3D image of the knee. After that, we load it into the robot, set the robot up, and what you see here is basically what the doctor's going to see in the surgery. So once we do that, we determine the patient's mechanical axis. We get a center of the hip, epicondyles, the knee tibia center, and the malleolus center. And when using that and these arrays, these checkpoints, and the robot, we get a triangulation of where everything is in space. After that, we'll pre-plan with the doctor and template, as you can see on the screen, like these images. In the past, what they would do is they would put an X-ray up on the board, put a see-through template through, and try to eyeball where the implant's going to go. We can actually precisely place these implants with sub-millimeter precision on the bone. We burr out 1 millimeter or 2 of bone on the femur, 1 millimeter or 2 of bone out on the tibia, or wherever the disease might be. We can do primary unicompartmental medial, patellofemoral, lateral compartment, and burr out. So what you see on the screen is what the doctor sees in the surgery. Basically, the doctor will watch the screen, and as the burr is running, he can burr out the bone, and you hear the beepings. It's warning, telling him you're at the border of the edge. Now, the technology has a stereotactic border, and it'll tell the doctor, hey, you're on the edge, and you'll hear that beep. And then it has other fail-safes so that the doctor cannot mess up the surgery. The red dot equals 1/10 of a millimeter too deep. So basically it has 5 fail-safes so the doctor can precisely burr out the bone to exactly depth he wants, position he wants, and place the implant exactly where he wants. Changing the way we do orthopedics. So from case 1 to 100, we're going to get the same results, the same X-rays. And that's MAKO, and we're changing the way we do orthopedics every day.
So my name is Brian Schmitz. I'm the Director of Platform Development with MAKO Surgical. I was involved in the development of this, the Rio robot, along with the team from Farm Design from the very beginning. So we selected Farm Design. At the time, we were a startup medical device company. And although a number of our engineers had experience in large thermoplastic part design and system design, designing a robotic arm that really interacts with the surgeon to the extent that this device does really hadn't been done before. So that's why we chose Farm Design as for their expertise in ergonomics and just the styling of the product to make something look really professional that you wouldn't necessarily see coming from a small startup company. So the project took about a year with Farm Design to get all the design, including the original industrial design and the detailed design completed. And we introduced the product in March of 2009. Since that time, we've sold 40 of these systems. They sell for about $1 million all-in price. And we've done over 3,000 surgeries, and so we have a lot of happy patients. And we were very happy with the whole experience with Farm Design and just ecstatic about the way the product came out.